AB adaylığı süreci devam etmekte. Liderler ve kararlarda Zeynep Dereli bu hafta Sırbistan Başbakanı Mirko Cvetkovic'i ağırlamaktadır.
Merhaba, Liderler ve Kararlar'da bu hafta çok önemli bir misafirimizi ağırlıyoruz. Sırbistan Başbakanı ile birlikteyiz. İstanbul'da kendileri ve şimdi bizimle görüşecekler. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for being on Leaders and Decisions. It's an honor for us to have you. I'd like to start off our discussion actually with your meetings yesterday with the Turkish Prime Minister and the Speaker of the Parliament, Mehmet Ali Şahin. It is reported that you have signed an agreement on cooperation in the fight against terrorism and organized crime, and an agreement on cooperation in the field of environment. Could you explain a little further what these agreements entail?
Yes, actually, to be more precise, the agreements were signed by my ministers, so this is on ministerial level. And more or less the agreements are calling for a cooperation between two countries, which actually includes the changing of the information, then changing of the people, education, and depending on the area, one or the other aspect is more important. For example, as it goes to the crime, then the immediate change of the information is very important. As it goes to the ecology or whatever, then the changing of experience is important as well.
I see. Turkey and Serbia have boosted trade relations, especially after the lifting of the visas. I personally enjoyed going into Serbia without getting a visa. In what other sections do you think Turkey and Serbia can build further relations?
Well, first of all, I believe that this removal of visa regime is very important. I generally think that visa is an obstacle to the people to meet each other and to get to know each other, to mix the cultures. And I'm very pleased that it really happened during the mandate of this government, and actually it was a relatively recent event after the discussion with your Prime Minister that took place in June last year. Obviously there will be more travels, but I'm not thinking only on that those travels will cover the tourist areas. I also believe that there will be interest of business people to travel, and generally there is a lot of room for the increase of our economic and financial relations. We are having the trade balance of like 400 million US, which is really insignificant compared to the possibility of two countries.
Hopefully we will see further increase after your very important visit to Turkey. Well, during this trip, Prime Minister, I do know that you're also scheduled to meet with Patriarch Bartolomeo. And what topics are you planning on discussing with the Patriarch?
Well, you see, this is more like courtesy visits, and I am expecting that the topics will be, specific topics will be more on his eyes to open and to ask for my opinion. I am very pleased to see him because in Orthodox religion this is kind of a pillar, although it's not like Pope in Rome, but there is such a position first among the equals. And this is my first personal opportunity to meet him, so I will enjoy. But it is not a political visit in terms that we will discuss so much important topics.
I see. The President of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, PACE, Mevlut Çavuşoğlu, who's Turkish actually, was in Belgrade this week, and where he addressed the Serbian Parliament. In his statements, he acknowledged the Serbian government's commitment to finding war criminals, Ratko Mladic and Radovan Karadzic. Please excuse me if I'm not pronouncing the names correctly. But he added that he expects Serbia to take tangible steps now. What is being done to find these criminals?
First of all, I would like to say that not only that he addressed the parliament, but I had opportunity to see him in person, so we had a meeting and we were discussing. It was very open and friendly discussion between the two of us. It is very right that the cooperation with Hague Tribunal is important, and obviously I'm excusing you for the wrong pronunciation of the names, but I must say that one of the two names that you have mentioned is already arrested and is already in the Hague. So Radovan Karadzic is submitted to the Hague by this government, and this is I thank you for mentioning that, because it is very important step that we made. Radovan Karadzic was the president of the Republic of Srpska, so formally looking, he is higher ranked than Mladic. So he is there, and he is actually making his case good for him. The prosecutors are putting some, regular process is ongoing. But you are right in terms that we should basically close the chapter of Hague Tribunal. Out of, I believe, 46 fugitives, we have submitted 44. So there are only two missing. One is Ratko Mladic and the other is Goran Hadžić. And we are doing all what we can to actually, as I said, close this chapter. There is no second thought, there is no political problem in this government, so we will do it.
Hopefully we will see them in Hague during your time. Also this week, it's been a very important week for Serbia, I believe. Serbia and the Republic of Kosovo have initiated groundbreaking talks in Brussels, the first of their kind since Pristina unilaterally declared independence 3 years ago. What were the main issues of discussion, and was any progress made in these talks?
First of all, I would like to say that it is very important for us that the dialogue has started. And from the very beginning, our position was that the dialogue and peaceful means and diplomatic means, these are the only arsenal of means that we will be using in resolving the problem. On the other hand, as it goes to Pristina and to Kosovo, we believe that that we should use the dialogue and try to find a solution that will be mutually accepted by all interested parties, and that will be the solution of, so to speak, long-term solution. So the solution in which everybody will believe that this is a win-win situation. If we don't reach such an agreement, and if we put the problem under the carpet, then sooner or later the problem will pop up, and not during the mandate of this government, maybe some other, but this government is somehow, our attitude is that the problem should be tackled in a way that the long-term solution is produced. In that respect, this first the meeting was more like introductory. There were some light topics, more like open than resolved, but nevertheless it is important that all parties are happy after this first meeting, and they have released, both parties released the message that it was a constructive, open, good dialogue, and I think that the end of this month will be a second meeting and continuation. So I'm not expecting quick results, but we are open for the reconciliation between Serbian and Albanian people.
Turkey has been struggling with its own problems in terms of these types of discussions. Hopefully your talks with Pristina will move swiftly than some of the Turkish talks. Well, hopefully. But there were reportedly some red lines set up on both sides that were not to be discussed during these talks. However, with Serbia pursuing a path towards European Union membership, possibly these red lines may need to be taken off the table soon in order to keep the process continuing. What would you say about that?
Serbia was never been told that the issue of Kosovo is connected to our European integration. So we have been always discussing of these to be two parallel processes, and this is how we look at the issue. So one is European integration, and we are doing very with a lot of energy, and this is actually the main pillar of this current coalition, and the other obviously is referring to the negotiation of Kosovo. We believe that if there is a goodwill, both processes can lead to a successful solution, and being in the position where am I have to be optimist and to go ahead and to push both processes to the success.
Although the mention of redrawing borders in the Balkans makes many people nervous, it is nonetheless being discussed as a viable alternative to the Ahtisaari plan. Would the Serbian government ever take into consideration a deal which included the transfer of territory between Belgrade and Pristina?
Well, it wouldn't be fair to go out with what we would have been done if it would have had happened. So I would rather like to basically say that if you look at our constitution, Kosovo is part of Serbia, and there are certain constraints related to this topic.
Okay. As you're rightly aware, Turkey has been very active in the region. In particular, it is very visible in its efforts to help the reconciliation process with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Do you think Foreign Minister Davutoğlu's policy of zero problems with neighbors has been effective in the Balkans?
I believe that the policy of zero problems with the neighbors is actually the good one. You can call it differently, which is cooperation between the neighbors or whatever. Or something similar. So we also believe that it is necessary to have a good neighbors and to produce a good relationship. We are in a relatively not as good position as, for example, Turkey, because there was a war in the 90s, so we are trying to actually develop the relation through actually offering the reconciliation, which Serbia is really doing. We have been discussing a lot of Bosnia and the problems which are there, and we are all, in a way, there is a consensus that these problems should be resolved by actually supporting Bosnia as territorial integrity, but supporting the dialogue between three parties and two entities inside, and asking that they should find acceptable solutions.